The director of the school, Mr. Levin, was a man who lived by precision. His mornings began at the same time, with the same footsteps echoing through the polished corridors of the old building. Every day he moved briskly, nodding to the teachers and staff with a brief, courteous smile, his leather briefcase tucked under one arm. He had worked at the school for over 20 years and thought he had seen everything. But that Thursday morning, something subtle yet deeply unsettling broke through his routine. Asterisk as he turned the corner near the janitorial wing, a soft sound reached his ears, not the usual hum of vacuum cleaners or the squeak of rubber solace. It was a sniffle, faint, almost like a child crying, but softer, more controlled. His brow furrowed. The supply closet door, which was usually firmly shut at this hour, hung slightly open. He stopped. Inside, bent low to the ground and scrubbing. With quiet desperation was Elena, the school's cleaner. Mr. Levin knew her only in passing. She had been with the school for about a year. Quiet, efficient, never late, never caused problems. But this morning, something felt wrong. Her body language was small, withdrawn, like she was trying to disappear into the floor she was cleaning. Asterisk. He almost continued walking, almost, but something made him pause. A flicker of intuition, a whisper of conscience. Asterisk. Elena? He said. Voice low. Asterisk. She gasped and jerked slightly, startled. Her eyes widened when she saw him standing there. Good morning, Mr. Levin, she stammered, wiping her cheek quickly with the back of her sleeve. She attempted a smile, but it faltered. You're here early, he noted, taking a step closer. I always am. I like to get the hallways done before the children arrive. Asterisk as she moved to pick up her sponge again, her sleeve slid back slightly. That's when he saw it. Bruises. Faint, yes, but unmistakable. Thin, circular marks around both wrists. Not fresh, but not old either. His eyes narrowed. Asterisk. Elena, he said, more firmly this time. What happened to your arms? Asterisk. She froze. The color drained from her face, and her eyes fell to the floor. Asterisk. It's nothing, she whispered. Just ... an accident. I slipped. In the kitchen last week. I'm clumsy. Asterisk. Mr. Levin had heard 1,000 excuses in his time from students, teachers, even parents. But this lie was hollow. Her voice trembled as she said it, and her hands instinctively pulled her sleeves down, hiding the evidence like a child caught with stolen candy. Asterisk. He looked at her, really looked at her, and saw the exhaustion beneath. Her eyes, the way her shoulders curved inward as if carrying a weight no one else could see. Asterisk. Elena, he said softly, may I speak with you in my office? Asterisk. She panicked immediately, stepping back. No, please. I can't. I'll lose this job. I need it. Please. I'll be fine. Asterisk. He saw the fear. Not of him, but of something or someone else. Asterisk. You're not in trouble, he said. Gently, but I think something is wrong, and I want to help. Asterisk. She looked at him for a long second, torn between fear and relief. Her lips parted as if to say something, but she only nodded, tears glistening at the edge of her lashes. Asterisk. Mr. Levin reached out and opened the door wider for her, his voice calm. Just 5 minutes. Come, please. Asterisk. And slowly, silently, Elena stood, her movement stiff with shame, and followed him down the hall. Asterisk. In the quiet of his office. Mr. Levin closed the door behind them and gestured toward the chair across from his desk. Elena hesitated, her fingers twitching nervously at her sides, but eventually sat down, perching on the very edge of the seat like someone who expected to be dismissed at any moment. Mr. Levin didn't sit. He moved slowly, deliberately, pouring 2 cups of tea from the kettle on the windowsill. He handed her one and then sat across from her, folding his hands together, his eyes kind but steady. Asterisk for a long moment, neither of them spoke. The silence was heavy, filled with the ticking of the old clock on the wall and the muffled hum of the building waking up around them. Elena kept her eyes on the floor, her tea untouched. Asterisk, I'm not here to accuse you of anything, he began, gently, but I've seen enough to know when someone is in pain. You don't have to lie to me. Asterisk, her lips trembled slightly. She glanced up at him, just once, and then looked away again. Asterisk, it's really nothing, she whispered. Just home stuff. Asterisk, is someone hurting you? He asked softly. Asterisk, that question broke her. Her body shuddered, her shoulders shook, and the tears she had clearly been holding back began to fall. She pressed her hand to her mouth to stop the sob from escaping, but it was no use. The tears came fast, hot, and silent. Mr. Levin didn't interrupt. He didn't fill the silence with meaningless reassurances. He simply waited. Finally she spoke, her voice so quiet he had to lean forward to hear. My husband. He wasn't always like this. He used to be kind. After he lost his job last year, something changed. He started drinking. At first, it was yelling. Then he started locking the doors at night. Started pulling me by the arms. Once, he didn't let me leave. For 2 days. Asterisk, Mr. Levin's jaw clenched, but his voice remained calm. Have you told anyone? The police? Family? Asterisk, I don't have anyone. My parents are gone. No siblings. And if I report him, I have nowhere to go. He said he'd find me no matter where I ran. And she broke off, hugging herself. I can't lose this job. It's all I have. Asterisk, Mr. Levin sat back in his chair, exhaling slowly. His gaze shifted to the window where students were now arriving, laughing and carefree. It seemed like a different world from the one Elena lived in. Asterisk, listen to me, he said firmly but kindly. You are not alone. Not anymore. I'm going to help you. Whether you want to accept it today or not, that help will be waiting. For you. Asterisk, her brows furrowed in confusion. What do you mean? Asterisk, I know people. There are shelters that specialize in cases like this. Women's protection agencies, I'll call them. You'll have a safe place to go. And you won't lose your job here, not now, not ever. Asterisk, she looked at him as if he were speaking another language. Why would you do that? Asterisk, because, he said softly, I've seen people ignore bruises like yours. I won't be one of them. Asterisk, for the first time, Elena's face softened. Something in her expression shifted, not quite relief, but the beginning of it. A flicker of trust. I don't know what to say, she murmured. You don't have to say anything, he replied. Just accept the help. You've been strong for so long, Elena. Let someone else be strong for you now. Asterisk, in the hallway beyond the door, the first bell rang. The school was coming to life, loud and bustling. But inside the office, time seemed to slow as Elena wiped her tears and nodded just once. And in that small, quiet moment, something changed, not just for her, but for everyone who would later learn of what Mr. Levin did that day, asterisk, because when the staff eventually found out that the stern, reserved director had personally driven Elena to a women's shelter, had paid for her initial stay, had found her a lawyer, and made sure she was safe, the entire school stood still. Asterisk, no one expected it. No one knew that behind his strict demeanor, Mr. Levin carried the kind of heart that didn't just notice bruises, but healed them. Asterisk.